Hello. So allow the trickle effect to go down for our lives. As I go, there goes one person. Hello. The one. There we go. Getting the heart shaped emojis already. Let's go. I love that. Love the love.
Hi.
Can you feel the love on hump day? What is up, baby girl? That's who it is right there. What is up, everyone? How are you doing? This is a special. I think they're all special. All the episodes are special.
Yeah.
But this is a special episode of Our Daily Magic. Felt the need to have this quick dialogue and quick conversation about something that is trending in this magical co-creation called life. So, if you didn't take a look at the title, we wanted to talk about, and actually you got to update that because Simon says Simone.
Oops.
So, yeah, we can edit that. So, it's Simone Biles, who we all know she's a beast gymnastic athlete, and she decided to withdraw from the Olympics. Why? Because she said that she needs to take care of her mental health. And I don't want to give more detail on it yet, but we got a video that we want to share about this. And we're going to share about this. We'll give a quick little dialogue. And also feel free to give your feedback too. Roll the film.
I'm actually we're gonna stop that. We're gonna do it again. So I can make sure we do that. Roll tape.
So,
I don't know. Hmm. Let's do that again. Because that ain't working.
well, there we go.
That's better. Roll tape.
Hey, what's up, Nate?
That's
We're having what's it called? Life. Perfect segue.
We're used to seeing Simone Biles pull off the unthinkable.
Just keep making history, Simone Biles.
The U.S. gymnastic phenom doing something she's never done on Tuesday, suddenly withdrawing from team finals in Tokyo. After a rare stumble on the vault,
I didn't want to risk the team a medal for kind of my screw-ups because they've worked way too hard for that. I say put mental health first because if you don't, then you're not going to enjoy your sport and you're not going to succeed as much as you want to.
Team USA going on to win silver behind Russia's gold. Bow-out for Biles coming on the heels of tennis star Naomi Osaka's withdrawal from the French Open to prioritize her mental health.
It's a turning point, a positive one, where younger, brave people are saying, hey, we need to pay attention to what counts.
This morning, fellow Olympians rallying around the GOAT following her surprise step back. Former teammate Allie Raceman on CNN.
I can't imagine how hard that was for her to pull out today, but I'm proud of her, and she knows her body better than anyone else, and she knows her mind better than anyone else.
Adam Rippon tweeting, I can't imagine the pressure Simone has been feeling, sending her so much love. It's easy to forget she's still human. We love you. Michael Phelps weighing in too, saying, nobody is perfect, so yes, it is okay to not be okay.
She's setting a precedent and saying that strong people can be challenged in their mental well-being. And to me, that's actually a sign of greater strength.
Back to Simone's announcement overnight that she is stepping back from the individual all-around competition scheduled for tomorrow. Still TBD on whether she'll compete in the other events. Next up would be vault and uneven bars on Sunday and Monday.
All right, thanks to all Gans.
And there we go. There we go. So definitely wanted to include you all who didn't see what's actually was going on and what's also a current topic being discussed out there with her making this decision. Feel free to share your input and your thoughts as well. And let's get right into it real quick. So mental health. I definitely want to hear from you what mental health means for you. And then for myself, I'll go right now. Mental health for myself is something that's very, very important. Mental health is something that we all need to be aware of with this, because mental health plays a major part in our life, more than what we may perceive it as, because the mind is a powerful, powerful tool. And through our life experiences, we have experiences in which our mind takes information in from what has happened, the good things, the not so good things, the traumatic things, a lot of stuff. Also the programming as well, programming from what we may have experienced with family, friends, experience at school, things like that. And then what can happen is this information, this powerful information tool that we have, has all these things into it in which we respond to our life based upon whatever this information is giving us. Sometimes it could be fear, survival mode from an event that happened to prevent that from happening. But also it can dictate our emotions, because our mind, we have thousands of thoughts every day. And whether we know it or not, we have a choice for what thoughts that come through our mind we actually want to entertain and actually believe and start to integrate into our lives. And mental health, when it's not taken properly care of, just like external health with working out, drinking health, whatever health, all different ways, spiritual health, when it's not really properly taken care of to like have a balance with it, it can really have your life going on a course of like this. And I know for myself, because I had to deal with my own mental health issues. I won't even call it issues, my own mental health. Let's just put it like that way, because there's no issues here. It's just the awareness that needs to get shifted with it. And I applaud her to be on something this monumental like the Olympics, which is, yeah, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. A lot of us who are watching this, we're never gonna get that opportunity. A lot of people who are former athletes as well, or even athletes now, will never be able to be on a stage like that to perform. And just the pressure from just that to perform, especially for her, she's a gold medal winner already, and now she has to defend it. It has to be a lot of pressure to actually repeat. I'm pretty sure to actually get there the first time, it was a lot of pressure as well. And not even to like think about what's going on in normal life. So like with us, like things we experience in life from pressure. And then she also, I'm pretty sure she has that pressure, and then she also has this pressure in the media and all this stuff on her, who are expecting her to win, expecting her to get the gold again. And then another thing that was happening, and even mentioned it in that, was, and I think I talked to you about it, how there was something that was going out there too, in which they were saying they don't want to highlight her anymore or that much as they were before, because she was just so dominant. And they want to give the opportunity for other people to have the spotlight, because it's like, oh, you're dominant and we don't want to showcase this here. That's very, very interesting as well. But before we even get to that part, I want to bring it back to you, and just want to hear for you, like, what do you think about mental health?
I think that mental health is, of course, really important. If I think about the health of my car, right? Suppose that my brake pads are starting to run low. If I don't address the health of my car in the form of my brake pads, then eventually my rotors are going to go. And then eventually the axle is going to go, or whatever it is. But the progression is that there's this symptom that's on the top. And if it's not addressed, like at the root, then there's all of these other things that can start to be out of whack. And I think that it's the same thing with mental health. Maybe it's something as simple that starts as, I don't know, anxiety. But without looking at and addressing the root of the cause, that anxiety can turn into all kinds of different things. So I think that mental health really establishes our functionality as human beings so that way we can be who we are and do that in a well-grounded manner.
Yeah, and like you said, taking care of those things before, and a lot of times, and I'm sure whoever's listening will resonate, in which we had these emotions going on, and somebody may have told us, "Oh, it's not right." No, you're you're overreacting, or I'll give you something to cry about. Keep doing that. From these things that brought these current emotions within us, but we weren't able to actually process them. Told that they were wrong, tell them that it's made up, you're being overly sensitive. But really, all you just needed in a moment was that moment to express what was happening with you. So what happens from that? You may take on a belief like, oh, my emotions don't matter. This person's right. Maybe I am making things up. Maybe I'm being oversensitive. Maybe I'm overreacting. And then these beliefs start to get embedded into your mind, because our mind, like I was saying before, like that computer program, this is what I believe from the information I'm receiving, so now I'm going to take on this thing. But then this soul part of us actually, well, hey, I wanted to express this thing, but then now this is inner battle for how I want to react to this. I want to do this, but I can't do this because in this belief system I can't react this way. I can't do this thing. Oh, I can't even take care of myself. Maybe you had moments where you needed to actually take care of yourself, do things for yourself first, but you might have been told that you need to take care of others. You need to do this, you need to do that, you need to suck it up, compared to just having that moment to decompress. And what can happen is all that suppression, and emotions that could have been easily handled by having a space to process them in the moment is now building up, in which now they could potentially become so intense, these emotions within us. And I know whoever's listening, you know what I'm talking about. Those moments when you're with yourself and there's nothing to do, no distractions, and those thoughts start running rampant. And you want to do whatever you can do to get yourself away from those thoughts, get yourself away from feeling that emotion, do something to distract yourself. I know, I know, I know. And it erupts. One, we're trying to make our world in a way in which we don't have to like deal with those too intense. And then two, we're now authentically allowing ourselves to express ourselves, how we feel in the moment, and actually take care of ourselves. Because let's be real, it's really conditioned, and where we're in this world, what's this called, Western world? In the Western world, to suck it up, work, keep it going. No, mental health is not. Nah, you'll be fine here. Take these medications. Oh no, it's not okay to cry. It's not okay to be sad. It's not okay to do this. It's not okay to authentically express yourself and how you feel. But we were starting to see now, and kudos to Simone, kudos to Naomi, and kudos to whoever else is doing it as well. Now I'm in just these highlighted celebrities, but the ones out there who are really taking that initiative, especially during these times of the pandemic and all these uncertainties, to really start taking care of yourself, really start to unpack what's going on inside of you. Because how can you really expect yourself to live the fulfilling life you're looking for when you are not properly handling what's going on inside of you?
Mic drop.
Yeah. So this is amazing. I love to see this. I love to see like more or people who have the spotlight like in this, like Simone, who's actually really using her platform to really talk about these things, but also to showcase like, yo, I'm human. I'm going through my stuff and I'm actually handling this stuff. Like we all can take something from that, in which it's okay to seek support and seek help for what's going on with you. And I know the conditioned norm is to like suck it up, keep going, keep doing what you're doing, working through it and all these other things. But it's like, yo, like when is enough? When is it going to start being put out there more that it's okay to feel what you're going through and also to unpack it? And also just a curious question, like what if the people who told me that what I'm feeling wasn't justifiable or wasn't right was telling me that based upon their own perspective, because maybe it was right for me to feel what I was feeling in the moment. And I can seek support for that. That's what every single thing that we actually look into bring into our life more. So like better health, you can hire a nutritionist. If you want to work out more, you can hire a trainer. If you want to learn a certain thing for school, you can hire a tutor. And for mental health, you can hire someone who's trained in mental health, somebody who can actually hold a space for you to process what you need to process. So that way you can be able to start reintegrating a new program that actually works for you in this moment. If there's an inner battle going on, it's just letting you know, like, hey, what's happening right now isn't working for you anymore. And you have a choice. We can keep trying to fight what's happening, and that's going to take more energy out. Or allow yourself to unpack what's going on. Get that support, get that space to really be able to process what's happening with you inside of you and to actually be able to have a moment to express yourself authentically and not be judged, not be shamed, especially in this internet world, social media, in which a lot of people get shamed for actually expressing themselves. But who said it? David Goggins, which is so true. He's like, what I realize is like a lot of people who shame you for expressing yourself, they have way worse things than you going on. It's got a better way of masking it.
Mm-hmm.
But that bravery that Simone's doing is brave. It's really brave to do that inner work. And I just can't wait to see what happens for her actually taking this moment to take care of herself. Because the crazy thing is, she was going through all these things and still was getting gold medals. So, and she was already dominated. So I'm really excited to see what happens when she actually expands even more deeper into her awareness. What do you think?
I think that it's brave to do what she's doing, to stand up for herself, to be herself. I also wonder what is going on in the world and with the Olympic Committee where they feel that they, needed to have that kind of statement, she's dominating, let's put the spotlight on some other people because she's in a league of her own.
Want to know where it comes from?
Where?
It's a thing, and also like I respect it, but then like there's a balance to it, and this is overly the balance type of thing. And it's more like in this era of things going on in which it wants to make sure everybody's accommodated for it. Everybody's feeling good. Everybody's feeling like, okay, I'm good and things like that, which is totally fine. But then like my curious question, like what they said about her with the Olympics, I'm like, can you imagine if they did this to Jordan or if they did it to Kobe? Of saying like, okay, Kobe or Jordan, even LeBron too, like players who dominate, Durant, like you are dominating so much that we're not going to talk about you anymore. We're going to talk about these other guys. But it's like you're an athlete, and all everyone who had an athletic background is like athletes like to get better, but then also like in this moment, you made it to Olympics. She's dominating right now. Why not ask those inquiring questions like, how can I get better from this?
I'm going to read Nate's comments.
Yeah.
Nate says the self is the best at that. Agreed about allowing the self to accept outside influence, but I don't go with the trained ones or any other way. I take them all in and decide what I need for the best me that I feel. All the hats we wear have to become one sooner or later. The sooner we get it down to one, the healthier the whole is. The best, most pure medicine comes to us when it is needed and is freely given. And it shouldn't be a problem that she's great at what she does.
Pretty much. The great at what she does. And this is with everything in general. Like the best of the best out there. Because they did the work. Can you imagine like you doing that much work to get you to that level? And also she's just naturally gifted. She's just doing things that she's just doing, and she's also just showing that flow state. You know, like that flow state when they say you just get into that flow and that embodiment and also that uniqueness, and you just showcase it for the world, what she does. It's like, yo, like that term, don't be bitter, do better. And it's funny. And I'm not going to throw it in the way like race and stuff like that. Remember when Michael Phelps was like dominating people in the swim meets and things like that? Did they ever say something like, "Oh, let's stop talking about Michael Phelps. He's dominating so much. He's dominating these people in swimming. So like, let's focus on these other swimmers." No, it was exciting to like see a person who trained on the level they trained on the showcases for this world stage to dominate like that, because it's not the fact that the other people there are not that good. They're world-class athletes, but then like you get to see a universal class athlete on display.
Yeah. Nate says it is very brave of her to realize when to step off and take care of herself in her own way. That is amazing.
Yeah, for all of us too, like just taking that time to take care of yourself, because you're just going to show up at whatever level you're at as well. Even pushing yourself through those type of things, eventually that energy, because it's like there's a stagnant, it's not flowing, eventually comes to that point where you get to that screeching halt, and which you're being forced to stop. Maybe your body starts talking to you with the health issues, or maybe the stress, or maybe these other things out there in which you got to do things to keep yourself going, but eventually it just gets too intense. Now, like for her energy is going to be flowing more for getting the support that she needs right now. And like I said, I can't wait to see like the level she's going to be on when she comes back, because they was complaining about the level she was at now. Man.
Yeah, kudos. If she's in a league of her own, I guess it's time to have more leagues, right?
Yeah. Or even like, why not have life like that unless you're in a league of your own? Because truthfully, the real things going on, the real, like, if there is a battle going on, it's between you and you. It's just illusion that everything else is the reason for you having those battles and things like that. And of course, people co-create moments to have that battle, but then think about it. Is your thoughts outside of you? No, it's inside of you. And what happens is a moment happens, thoughts come up, and then these emotions come up. Where do they come from? Thoughts and emotion inside of us. But it's easy to say it's because of this, it's because of that, because this thing happened, that the reason why I am the way that I am right now. And even that moment is already gone. It's just the internal Rolodex that goes on over and 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 over. And this is why it's monumental to get the support to go within, to take a look at that, take an inquiry of what's going on inside your internal closet, and start to make some changes, especially if your life isn't working for you right now. And it all starts with that question. Is your life working for you right now? How do you feel about your life honestly right now? Go from there.
Would you like to read the next comment?
Sure. So Nate says, a great example of taking care of oneself that is also taking care of the whole. Yeah, that sacrifice, man. Doing something that's also going to raise a collective as well. Because from this moment, I wonder how many new conversations about mental health is going on right now.
Here's one of them.
Yeah. But also, we've been working on our mental health for a while now. Our inner health as well, which also helps out the mental, because like I said, the mind is just a computer. And the more you actually do things to bring awareness within yourself, the more you get this see that the program that's going on. But then also you can rewrite your program. This is why there's all these different techniques out there for how to train your subconscious mind from the affirmations and everything else like that. It's because it takes on information.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always working on all of it. Exactly. Because it's all important in its own unique way. And bringing balance to them all allows you to have a more balanced life. Then you no longer need those external things to help you numb your pain or to stop you from feeling what just wants to be felt for a little bit. Might be longer, but it's just a moment. But I guarantee it's less than what we think it would be by allowing ourselves to actually be with it. Because you're no longer struggling. You're actually being with those parts of yourself that just wants to have a chat. Wants to shift the current program to a new program. The inner Windows Infinity update.
I heard a really cool way that really resonated with me, how to relate to the mind and our other parts of self. We've got the mind, the body, the spirit, the heart. And it said that the mind is simply a servant to the others. And for me, as identifying I'm here to serve my community, I think there's a way to relate to the mind as not being inferior, but that it has a role, it has a function, and it does that really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to just take a step back and look at it as a servant to the other parts of self, that to me makes a lot of sense. And that gives me just another way to relate to it in a holistic way.
Yeah. And also, it's before we even got our mind, our information from our life experiences, there was a point in which we were in that state, like you mentioned, probably as a baby, when you first hear, observing stuff. Even before that, before we were informed, being a formless. And that formless is still here. But what can happen from life experiences, that formless takes a back seat to the mind, which is the driver. But if you're able to allow yourself to be and connect with that formless part of ourselves, like who we were, even before the mind started taking that information that it takes that no longer serves us, allowing ourselves to be there, allow that part of us to grow, but also just to remember that remembrance of who we really are, then things can really start to unravel, really start to shift for us mentally, even physically, things like that. But it's all about just bringing that balance and bringing us all together as that passenger going in one direction. What can happen is the mind's going this way, the soul wants to go this way, the body's going this way. So all these different avenues of what's going, but then we're able to just bring them all together to that screeching hope and bring it into one path, one focus, one trajectory. Helps to bring balance.
There's all kinds of, like analogies and metaphors, have like all the parts of self in your boat rowing in the same direction.
Yeah.
Having Sadhguru was saying all of the parts, working together.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I like to say it as just checking in. Am I agreeing with myself?
Yeah.
And that usually is a way for me to like calibrate. Are all those parts moving in the same direction?
Yeah. And also, like, what if you could actually give yourself permission to feel whatever you're feeling right now?
No judgment.
No judgment. Have your inner planet fitness, judgment-free zone. But really just allow yourself to feel that. Feel whatever is happening fully. And be with that, because here's the kicker. And I know from my own experiences, there's that part of us from whatever experience that just wants to talk, wants to actually be supported and be heard. And that part is you. You want to be heard by you. You want to be acknowledged by you. You want to be loved by you. You want you to be whatever you needed in that moment but didn't get it. You don't believe me? Try that. Try that the next time you have a thought from a previous experience, and be that person or whatever was needed in that moment. And I guarantee you'll shift by being with it. But also allowing that part of you to express what it felt in that moment. Because then it's going to give you some clues for some other stuff as well.
Awesome. Until next time.
Stay magical.